make sure that you keep your social media accounts up to date and really encourage user-generated content, which is having your users create content that you can share. And this is also a great time to research and connect. Send voice notes, send DMs, check in on people, just keeping that outreach going, and it shouldn't ever stop. Hey, it's Renee. Welcome to the Into the Wild Show, the podcast for women who want to build incredible mental strength to level up their business and lifestyle. I'm Renée Warren, the founder of We Wild Women, author, speaker, award-winning entrepreneur, and your host. Together, we will make you unapologetic about shining your light, growing your business, and turning you into a wildly confident and successful leader. This is for you, the visionary, the go-getter, the entrepreneur, and for those that need a real kick in the butt to get going and to dream bigger. Each week, I bring in leading experts and entrepreneurs to help you take leaps in the right direction, because I know the best advice comes from someone who has successfully done it before. So, are you ready to level up? Welcome to Into the Wild. Hey, you wild women. So we are coming up on the summertime, which means vacation and ice cream, hopefully beaches, sunny weather, and a little bit of vacation. But here's what happens with this time of year, is that while you're planning your next vacation, so is the media. So are your contacts, so are journalists and all the reporters, because everyone takes a holiday. But here's the thing. In the years that I've been doing PR, I'll say 12 plus, there's been two notable kind of dead seasons. The first one is the holidays at Christmas time. So typically like last week of November through to the beginning of the year, it's almost a write-off. However, it's a good time to take to actually start planning your next year, right? Interesting thing about the summertime is that people are, while still working, it's more sporadic. It's not like there's a condensed 2 weeks where people are on holidays like over Christmas. So with the summer, there's rolling holidays, typically the last 2 weeks of July into August. And then kind of again the last week of the summer before kids go back to school. Well, we notice this dead time is essentially called like the dark days because so many people are on vacation and all you're getting is like out of office replies and emails. It gets kind of annoying because you think you have the perfect pitch and it's the perfect timing. I don't say don't do it, but really you have to put an extra intentional effort into actually figuring out where the journalists are. This is why I always look at Instagram or Twitter. Are they on vacation? Where are they going? Where are they traveling? Are they offline for a while? And so there is a way to keep up with your PR initiatives in the dead of summer. And this is for all marketing initiatives, but especially PR. And there's some simple steps you can take now that can help you prepare for the fall and the upcoming year, as well as in the summertime. So the first thing that we always do is we plan ahead. We need to do some proactive planning. This is also around your vacation and other people's vacations. I would say conduct a summer audit. Look at all of your marketing initiatives from Facebook ads to social media to podcasting, whatever it is, and really audit what has worked this year. What has worked in these past 5 to 6 months? Should we be stopping doing some of these things? Are some of these things just a waste of time? PR, by the way, is never a waste of time. It's just harder to measure sometimes, so people are extremely discouraged by it. However, look at all of your activities when it comes to marketing and PR and assess what's working. Set specific goals too for the summer. How many people are you going to reach out to each week? Is it 10? Is it 20? What's the plan? Are you going to be offline? And if you're going to be offline and you're pitching, then you can't expect for the contacts, the journalists, to follow up with you to book you on a show or to write about you in their publication if you're going to be offline. So just look about the pitching too, because you need to assess where you're going to have the capacity to actually follow up. The next thing too is to leverage seasonal events and holidays. Now, I do want to make a point here because they say Christmas in July. Well, this is an interesting thing because Christmas isn't in July. It's 6 months out from Christmas, but a lot of the major publications already start asking for queries for Christmas time and for the holidays in July, because it's one of the biggest seasons for products and services to be sold. And so the planning ahead is really like, geez, it's May, it's June. What's going on for us in the fall leading up to the holidays? Is there something that I need to be working on right now? I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but in December, before Christmas even happens, major publications are already talking about Valentine's Day stuff. It's kind of weird. I think, well, geez, Valentine's Day, we haven't even celebrated Christmas. Well, if you want a cue for what journalists are talking about, go into the dollar store or go into Walmart or Costco, because they have Christmas stuff, they have Valentine's Day stuff and Halloween stuff at the same time. So it's really confusing. But this is because these publications, they want to start publishing important pieces ahead of the traffic so that they get the traffic, so that their content starts to rank. And because of that, journalists are actually dropping content pretty early. And so don't pitch something 2 weeks before the holiday. It's probably not likely going to get published. I actually have one journalist that I follow, Lindsay, in Substack, because I subscribe to her Substack. She was sharing how 2 of her Times articles just went live, and she submitted those articles almost a year ago. So she couldn't do anything about it. That's just the way it works, right? So things take time. So the more proactive you can be with your PR, the better. So leverage those seasonal events. What's happening this summer that you haven't planned for that you might be able to take advantage of now? Another thing too is find maybe relevant events and holidays that you can attend or participate in. Find that hook, find that angle that you can newsjack, connect yourself to so that you can be part of that conversation. The other thing is to brainstorm summer-related PR initiatives and campaigns. So summer could mean different things to different people, like lazy days on the beach, adventurous road trips, or simply basking in the sun. When creating your campaigns, consider how to capture the essence of summer and make it relevant to your audience. Relevancy is key. And a quick sidebar here is there's a publication out in BC called BC Business. And I pitched the editor, and I didn't want it to sound salesy, but I thought, geez, what is the story that I could pitch or the angle that I could pitch that would actually be not salesy, but provide value to the reader and also inspire people to actually take action? And the idea that I came up with, the editor really liked, was how when I first moved out here to Kelowna, BC, on the west coast of Canada, I really integrated into the community. So I became an entrepreneur in residence at our local accelerator. I mentored women in business at Kelowna Women in Business. And I really just kind of dove deep into the scene to understand who's who and kind of what the ecosystem is like. And so my pitch to him was, yes, I do PR. This is what I do, but I'm new to the West Coast. And the best way for me to really understand the landscape was to do what I did. And I said the point of the article would be to inspire other local entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs in the province to do the same, to kind of put their hand out and say, yeah, I'd love to mentor other businesses in the area. And he loved it. So I was like, how can I get into this magazine? And here was an idea. So you have to think, what's the creative angles, brainstorm those summer initiatives, even looking into the fall, right? Look into the fall. What's happening in the next 6 months, 5 months, 4 months in your business that you can actually start planning the PR around. Another thing too is really start engaging on social media. So if you have some downtime, if you're kind of pausing the pitching in July, which, the end of July or maybe for a month, you'll stop that outreach, is how can you take that same capacity and invest it into a silo or an initiative that would actually work for you? So social media is huge still. I know we talk about this, but it's actually PR. And this could mean finding the journalists on Twitter, on Instagram, and engaging with them, tweeting their stuff, leaving comments, providing value for them. Because when the time comes, maybe in the fall when you start pitching again, they'll recognize who you are. And this also allows you to discover and explore new contacts, new opportunities, new publications, new podcasts that you never even considered. Always encourage your user-generated content contests too, right? So this is a time of year where people are busy. I would say maybe they're more lazy, but this is a time where you can actually build those relationships with your users, encourage them to create content that talks about your company. And here's why this is important, because I know when I pitch my clients and when you're pitching yourself, if you have been actively pitching, is journalists will go to your social media account to check you out. They want to know not necessarily that you have a follower, but that obviously helps. They want to know if that you're just the right relevant person for the content that you're pitching them about. So make sure that you keep your social media accounts up to date and really encourage user-generated content, which is having your users create content that you can share. And this is also a great time to research and connect. So again, explore, connect, send voice notes, send DMs, check in on people, just keeping that outreach going, and it shouldn't ever stop. The other thing too is to continue pitching timely stories. So pitching summer stories is about connecting your pitches to what's happening during this season. Like I said, it might be too late for some things, but daily publications, even radio and TV, they need stuff all the time. So maybe now's the time to take advantage of this because maybe your competitors aren't pitching. And with that lack of volume, maybe these journalists have more time and availability to actually answer your call or reply to your email. So capitalize on visual content is another thing too. So a picture is worth 1,000 words. This could be the time where you're just going out shooting lots of videos, taking lots of pictures. People want those compelling visuals. This could be stuff that you won't end up using until the fall or till the next season. It doesn't matter. But take that time to go out, create that content, come up with creative ideas, sit on the beach and sit there. Open your notes file on your phone. I do this all the time. I open the notes file on my phone. I just come up with ideas of pitch angles for clients or creative ways that you can newsjack a story, or even just start researching other publications and journalists. If you're sitting on the beach, you could be reading a book 100%. You could also be doing this work, which is quite fun. So look at also optimizing your platforms and online publications. Go through your website. Or do the images need to be updated? All the links on your website working? Oh my gosh, I hate it so much when I go to a website. Sometimes it's a client site and they link to their social accounts and it goes to a 404 page or the link is broken. So take this time to go through your site because think about it. If a Times reporter or some notable journalist or reporter comes knocking on your webpage door, does it look good? Do the links work? Does your bio make sense? Just go do a full audit. Are you even showing up online the way you should be? The next is to evaluate and adjust your strategies. So go back to the reporting, to the metrics. What's working? What's not? Really stop doing the things that aren't working. Adjust and improve. The thing about PR is, it's like I always say this, it's a marathon. The ones that succeed are the ones that are constantly finding new journalists and contacts, coming up with creative pitch angles, following up, being super organized. And initially it takes a lot of work, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And then you only really have to dabble in it. So if you could devote in the summertime 3 to 4 hours a week to maintain the work that you've put in, that should be enough. I have a bunch of freebies on the website, wewildwomen.com. I even have a really cool one that we just launched. Let me see here. Ready to craft the most epic media pitches to increase your brand exposure? Here, this is the free guide. It's called Proven Email Pitch Strategies to Get You on Podcasts and in the Media. So I teach you how to craft an email pitch. And there's even examples and screenshots of pitches that actually worked. But I teach you the cheat sheet on email and even DMs, how to use Instagram DMs even to get journalists' attention. So go check it out, wewildwomen.com. And you can go scroll to the bottom. There's a really good freebie and there's also freebies along the top. So yes, don't be discouraged by the slowness of the summer. Actually be encouraged by it. Use this as a time to be creative, to review what works for you, to stop doing what hasn't, but really start planning the next season. So there you have it. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Into the Wild. To make this girl happy and to help reach other women who are dreaming of starting their business, please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and everywhere you listen in. Also, if you want to find me in the wild, check me out on Instagram at Renée_Warren. That's RENEE_WARREN. and leaving you with one of my favorite tips of all time. The best advice you could ever receive is from someone who has successfully done it before you. Until next time, ladies, peace out.